Hi, welcome to our Building Community Check-In. I'm Sharon Knight, President and CEO of Hope Communities, which is a nonprofit that has been providing housing, educational programs, and support services to some of the most vulnerable in Denver for 40 years. We started these shows when quarantine began because we knew many of the people we served would feel isolated, would want a place to get reliable information about the pandemic, and would need resources to help get them through. So we hosted the show 3 times a week for 10 weeks and then moved to 2 times a week. We, at every show, provide the latest information about the pandemic, about best practices, and also regulations pertaining to COVID-19. We provide updates on resources available to you, which are also posted on our website at hopecommunities.org. We share inspirational stories or quotes, and we also have some activities that can help you to get through by enhancing health and your well-being. So I'm calling this episode What Goes Around Comes Around because it is so clear that the investments that we make in individuals and families at Hope, and also the very intentional work that we have to knit people together in our neighborhoods, really makes a huge impact on the strength and the vitality of our community. Sometimes it seems that we've been doing this important work for so long and we don't really highlight it very much that people get used to it. It doesn't get a whole lot of attention. I think it's kind of like a blanket of support and respect and security when you're growing up, and you don't notice how much you've gained from that and what you have until it's gone. So I'm just going to take a few moments and step back and tell you a little bit about the people at our properties who are making a huge difference and what they do so that you can reach out to them if you want some help along the way. And at the end of the show, we're going to have this really great little concert that is provided by someone who grew up in Park Hill near one of our properties, and she understands how much Hope has given to the community and she wants to give back. So we'll have that right towards the end of our show. So I know that people are watching this live, but I also know that people will watch it later on. So if you know somebody who needs to understand who our staff are, what they do, if they need help getting housing or retaining housing or getting services, and also if they just need some uplifting from a nice concert, please share the link for this show with all of those people. And if they need specific support, please have them or you yourself can email us at info@hopecommunities.org. So what's some of the latest news? Well, the governor just issued an order that's going into effect today, mandating that everyone in the state who is 10 or older, whenever they're anywhere in public and indoors, needs to wear a mask. So he highlighted the fact that the data around the spikes in cases is just alarming, that this is the time to act. We have got to put an end to the spike, which means that we have all got to be really vigilant in following the regulations around social distancing and also these masks. And by the way, the governor's order overrides local orders. So at this point, you need to wear the mask when you are in an indoor space that is a public space. And when we're outdoors, there's not a mandate yet, but it certainly is important that if you're going to be around people to have a mask and also to keep your social distance. So between July 6th and July 13th, Denver had 550 new cases of the virus reported, and Colorado had more than 4,000 new cases. So that is definitely a spike. Definitely going in the wrong direction. We don't want more cases in our state or in our city. And so the intensive care units are dangerously full. Right now we're at 79% of capacity, but if the spike continues, we're not going to be able to handle the load. So the mayor actually put a stop on variances and expansions of business at this point because he wants to crack down too. He said that they, as the city, are going to crack down on people not wearing masks because it really does make a difference. And, you know, we've said this before, but make sure when you wear the mask that it covers your nose and your mouth Some people, wear them down here, some people just on the mouth, and I know it's irritating, especially when it's hot and you're outside, but you have to wear them properly for them to work properly. So also, just in terms of Aurora Public Schools, which a lot of our clients actually have kids who cross over to Aurora, they're pushing back the start of school by a week to August 18th, and Denver Public Schools are considering the same things. So in Aurora, students have the choice to be in person for school full days every day through a cohort model, which means that they will stay with their same class all day long, regardless of the subject. In Denver, students will have a choice between on-site all the time, having a hybrid model, which is part on-site and part at home, or doing complete remote work. So parents from DPS got a letter recently and need to let the school district know how you want to handle your kids' education this year. I'm going to share 2 quotes with you. The first is by Oprah Winfrey. She says, "No matter who we are, or what we look like, or what we believe, it is possible, and more importantly, it becomes powerful to come together in common purpose and common effort." And certainly that is the case with social distancing and masks. It will take all of us to turn the tide and to get through this. So please share in helping everyone around you to be healthy by following those guidelines. I'm just going to mention this quote. I know you've heard it before, but I think at this time it really merits repeating. It's by Margaret Mead. "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has." So whether we're talking about the pandemic and all of us deciding that we are going to adhere and jump on this so that everyone gets healthier, or whether it is the work that Hope Communities does, it's important to know that just a small group of people can make a huge difference. So we have always, at Hope, focused on home, opportunity, and community in our work. And certainly, we've had rental units across the city of Denver, and we have very committed, exceptional staff. I want to share some of the people who are property staff who make and create and maintain a nice home for the people who live at Hope Communities. They work hard all the time. They have a lot of regulations to follow, but they also reach out and build personal relationships with our residents and our clients, which makes all the difference in the world in terms of that concept of home. So Jacqueline Cano is a regional property manager, and she provides leadership for our rental units at Hiddenbrook in East Colfax, and then Carrollton Arms and Welton Homes at The Point, which are in 5 Points. Jacqueline has many years' experience managing affordable properties at nonprofits and through private companies. She's worked with Essex Housing, Adams County Housing Authority, and Ross Management Group. She graduated from NJC in Sterling and has a great deal of training about property management, regulations, compliance, all of the things that help her work at Hope Communities, lots of certifications and classes. And so she maintains the overview of the management at those properties, and she's super strong in compliance issues, and she stays on top of all the regulations related to housing, and of course, that includes fair housing laws. She is a fluent Spanish speaker. Maricela Diaz is the assistant property manager who works at the same locations as Jacqueline. Maricela is really gifted working with customers. She has amazing customer experience and focus. She has prior experience working with the Lakewood Housing Authority, the Adams County Housing Authority, and Catholic Charities. She's the person to reach out to if you're interested in leasing an apartment at Hiddenbrook, Carrollton Arms, or the Welton Homes at The Point. She's fluent in Spanish and English, and at this particular moment, we do have a few apartments at our Hiddenbrook site. So if you know someone who needs them, they should reach out to Maricela. By the way, all of our staff contact information is on our website, hopecommunities.org. If you look at About Us and then our team, you can see the numbers for Jacqueline, Maricela, and the rest of the people that I'll be talking about. Sylvia Baker is the community manager at the Gardens of Hope Communities, which is in Northeast Park Hill. She manages and provides leadership for all aspects of the rental property there. Beyond that, though, she's a huge proponent of community engagement and works hand in hand with our program staff to nurture relationships in the neighborhood for staff at Hope Communities, but also for our residents. She has many years' experience in affordable housing and particularly senior housing. Prior jobs include placements at SunWest Management in Baltimore, Maryland, Allied Jewish, which is now Kavod Senior Life, and Senior Housing Options. She has property management, resident services, and a little bit of mental health experience that all help her in her current position. She has a bachelor's degree in organizational development and leadership from Regis University, which may be one reason why she is so great at pulling together community and helping everyone from residents to staff to community members to rise up to a higher level of personal leadership. So Sandra Ortega is the leasing consultant and a key member of the property team at the Gardens with Sylvia. She has many years experience with housing also, and senior housing and marketing. She has assisted living, St. Andrew's Village, and San Miguel. And kind of an additional fun fact, Sandra was a radio disc jockey for KVNO for many years. She is the key person to reach out to if you're interested in living at the Gardens. Sylvia can help you, but Sandra is the first stop there. She can provide information about steps to take and help you comply and get all of the application materials together so that you can get on a waiting list to get in as soon as possible. They both, Sandra and Sylvia, work really closely with residents and they help them with all kinds of issues. Both Sandra, Sylvia at the Gardens, and Jacqueline and Maricela at the other properties have been really helpful during the pandemic to help people with emergency rent funding and also payment plans when they've lost some of their income because of job shifts because of COVID. So program staff, very certainly they're supporting that sense of opportunity that we provide. Of course, they help keep people stably housed, but they're also helping to build up our residents and our clients. And I think some of you know this, but at least 25% of the people we serve are from the broader community, not just living at our site. So at Hidden Brook, Laura Frey is manager of resource navigation, and she is a veteran teacher, a navigator, and a leader in the community. She has extensive history with working with refugees and resettlement programs. She has prior experience as the Deputy Director of Operations at Village Exchange. She's been a program manager at the Aurora Welcome Center, assistant program director at Spring Institute, and she ran educational programs for the Center for New Americans in South Dakota. So she's certified as an ESL teacher, and she is really working with Martina Torres, who is another navigation manager on site to develop programming, to find resources, and to help clients with anything that they might need. She has a bachelor's degree from Bismarck State College and a master's in divinity from Sioux Falls Seminary. Martina Torres is the manager of career programs and resource navigation, and she actually splits her time at Hidden Brook in East Colfax with Laura, but also at Park Hill site. She came to Hope Communities with 25 years of experience working with marginalized populations through resource navigation and development of self-sufficiency programs. She has worked with the American Council of the Blind of Colorado, with Metro Volunteers, with Mi Casa Resource Center, and the Denver Housing Authority. So she's really passionate about providing direct service and getting community resources to help clients through these tough times and to meet their personal and their economic goals. So she has a degree from Metro State University and serves her well on her positions. So Amber Owens is manager of career programs and resource navigation at the Gardens. She, as I said, works with Martina, who's there part-time, to really help adults and to children to increase their access to basic needs, get specific skill training, and She also is amazing at fostering this environment of empowerment and opportunity at that site. So Amber has been building up a career program, and we know that during this pandemic, we are going to have to help people to retool their skills because some jobs are just going away as a result of the shifts in our economic environment. And so, we are nimble and we're trying to look at what the scope of work is out there and help people to find their specific niche so that they can be successful. Amber has worked with the Salvation Army and the City and County of Denver. She's worked a lot with workforce programs. She is a graduate of the University of Colorado at Denver. Fardoos Ahmed is our partnership and grant administrator, and she works specifically with our Thrive program for refugee families. This program is supported with a grant from the State Office of Refugee Services, and it provides navigation, education, and information for newcomers who are here less than 5 years. She has been helping work with other resource navigators who have specific linguistic and cultural competencies to work with people for whom English is not their first language. So Fardoos is originally from Somalia, and she does provide some navigation herself for refugees from that part of the world. She has just received her master's in social work from the University of Denver. Very proud of her for that. Mohammed Juma is our community navigator for the Thrive program, who provides navigation services and makes referrals and provides other programmatic support for individuals primarily in Arabic, which is his native language, but also in English as well. He worked with the Colorado African Organization. He's been with Clear Jobs Core Center. He's been an interpreter with the Kakuma refugee camp, and he was a radio announcer and facilitator for the DPS Educa radio program. So he has lots and lots of certifications for navigation, so very skilled in terms of the work he's doing. Lai Thun is a community navigator for our Thrive program as well. He's providing those navigation and referral services and program support with clients in English, but also Burmese, which is his primary or initial language. Lai has prior experience with navigation and also as a paraprofessional at the Denver public school system and was a principal and a teacher in Myanmar. He got his bachelor's degree in physics from Mandalay University in Myanmar. Layli Hashim is our community navigator for the Thrive program who speaks Dari. So she has experience as an interpreter for the Colorado Language Connection, just health expert. She's also worked in banking jobs as a sales consultant, a licensed banker, assistant banker, and mortgage consultant at Wells Fargo. So she has a bachelor's in international relations from Monterey Institute of International Studies, but clearly can help with all sorts of navigation, people getting basic needs, financial literacy training. So she has been a wonderful addition to our program team. Laura Tran is a program specialist. She has one of the most diversified positions right here. She provides program support and resource navigation for newcomers through our Thrive program. She also supports youth programs at Hidden Brook and the Gardens, and she, at this point, is facilitating our volunteer program. We use volunteers often to supplement staff in really key roles in terms of helping with classes, helping with food distribution, and so forth. So Laura is helping to channel all of those volunteer efforts. She has prior experience with the International Rescue Committee and YMCA, and she's a graduate of Regis University. So you can see we have very, very talented people in the field who are at our properties and running our programs, working on the concepts and the pillars of home and opportunity. Community is the third pillar that is important to all staff. All staff are engaged in some way. We try to engage residents in community. We bring partners in from the community to leverage resources. We have some other staff who are more behind the scenes who help us with that too. We've got Gwen Kochman, our manager of development, and Jamie Pollard and John Hodges who help with our communications and our social engagement with people. So we do our best to build relationships and, as I said, leverage all of our resources. And we do a lot. We have a very talented crew, but we can't be all things to all people. So we know that we are much better together than any of us could be apart. And so those community partnerships are so important. Our community is so important, and we will all work together to make it stronger. So I know that was a very quick review of who our staff are, but I just wanted clients or potential clients, people in the community, to know that we have an extraordinary team of people who are very dedicated. They're innovative. They're coming up with new ways during this pandemic to provide incredible, deep service, personalized service, and person-to-person, one-on-one service. We've been able to maintain that kind of direct service pandemic in a very careful way, but also in a very personal way. So I'm going to now talk about our extraordinary concert that is coming. We have this concert from musical talent from across the ocean. Joanna Hyde, who was originally from Park Hill, not too far away from Hope Community's site, and her husband, Tadhg have created a mini concert just for Hope's Facebook page today from their home in West Cork, Ireland. Joanna said that growing up close to Park Hill's site, that she understands the value that Hope brings to individuals and to the community with housing, educational programs, and support services, and that we've made a big difference, and so she wants to give back to us. So these two musicians are absolutely phenomenal. Tadhg and Joanna often perform as a duo, and we can put their the link to their Facebook page, which is facebook.com/TRADDUO, which is short for Traditional Duo. And they also do tours with their trio, which is called One of the Foxes. So they do have a website, oneforthefoxes.com, and there's all kinds of musical videos on there if you're interested. You know, they were supposed to be doing a big tour of the US and Canada right before the pandemic started, so obviously that's closed, but you can still access some of their music by going online, and hopefully you'll enjoy this concert. They play traditional Irish music all over the world, and we are so delighted that they have been generous in providing the concert for us today. So I hope this brightens your day.
Hi there, my name is Joanna Hyde, and this is my husband Tadhg O'Macher, and we're delighted to be here playing a bit of music for you today through the Hope Communities Facebook page. And we know Hope Communities does such great work all the time, and they're working especially hard now with the pandemic and the challenges everyone's facing at this time. So we're glad that we can share a bit of music and hopefully a bit of fun just for something different, a little break. I actually grew up in Denver, Park Hill, very close to where Hope Communities does their work. And I know that through affordable housing and educational programs and supportive services, they're really giving to the community so much. So we're delighted to just be here today and say thank you for that and share a little something. So we're actually coming to you from West Cork in Ireland. So through life's adventures, I moved to Ireland and studied music there, and that's where I met Tadhg. So greetings from across the big ocean. So we'll be sharing a good bit of Irish music with you, starting with a few jigs here. So dance around, it's all dance music. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. We'll carry on with a song now, and this one comes from a great British singer-songwriter named Kate Rusby, and it's a little bit of a fairy tale about castles under the sea and a few things like that. So it's a nice little place to travel to in your mind for a little while. So this one is called Sweet Bride.
So merrily and gay,
So we'll do a couple of tunes now that are, well, the first one's an older Irish tune written by a man named Junior Crehan, and then we're going to follow it up with a tune that we wrote together. We wrote it in Dublin, in the house where Tadhg grew up, and when we were writing it, we took a tea break because you have lots of tea in Ireland because it's comforting and it's nice and it's often rainy here, so a good cup of tea is always there. And when we went to make that tea, there were some foxes out in the back garden just stretched out and enjoying themselves right in the middle of the day, and we thought that was a really nice sight and a nice break for us, so we said we'd name the tune for the foxes, so it's called One for the Foxes. Well, we'll do, one more for you, set of tunes. And Tadhg likes to switch between the keyboard and the piano accordion, so we always love kind of just going wild on this one. And so it's a few reels for any of those of you who are interested in what type of tune, and again, dance music, so you can all be dancing at home on the chairs and the tables and whatnot. And thank you again for having us, to Sharon Knight and to Roger Hara for connecting us, and just really grateful for organizations like Hope Communities, and hope you're all doing as well as possible, and thanks again. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Wow, that was great. Many thanks to Joanna and to Tadhg. What a beautiful concert. It was so uplifting and a great way to start the weekend. I actually hope you get a chance to look at it again and again. And if you can do so, you might also want to carve out some time for reading. So I'll remind you that every Facebook show we have been sharing a book review from a member of our staff, our community, or a volunteer. And we know lots of people are reading more books now that they've been safe at home and in quarantine. And so we try to feature something every time we have a show that might be of interest to you. And we do try to find some things that are available at the Denver Public Library, hopefully downloadable, but not always. So our book review today is by John Hodges. He is reviewing a book called The Seven Wonders, a novel of the ancient world, written by Stephen Saylor. It's kind of an introduction to a whole series of what we would call today detective novels. There's a protagonist, Gordanius, who is a Roman citizen who just turned 18. And he sets out on a grand tour to see all seven wonders of the ancient world and finds himself solving little mysteries along the way. So the author of this book is actually a historian and has studied classics at the University of Texas, and he's known for doing meticulous research. So each book has a lot of very specific details, but it doesn't read like a history book. It reads like a mystery novel that is approachable and compelling. So it should be a lot of fun for you. That's it for our show today. We will be back on Tuesday when our guest is Rennie Alyssa from Right On Learning. And he's going to talk to us about technology and getting set up at home so that kids are very successful during the school year. I hope that you will sign in with us Tuesday at 3 o'clock to listen to Rennie. Please be well this week. Have a great weekend, but make smart choices. Please keep your social distance, wear your mask. We want you to be healthy and around for a long time. And if there is anything at all that we can do for you, please reach out to us at info@hopecommunities.org. Thanks. Have a good day now. Bye-bye.